All right, we are doing another one. I've got a meeting in a few minutes, which is great because we don't want these to be pressure less or like we have a whole bunch of time. So let's just start on this one. Wow. So, first, we're going to talk about the problem, reiterate that we understand the problem, design the solution, and then code it. So, ATM machines, automatic teller machines, allow 4 or 6-digit PIN codes. And PIN codes cannot contain anything but exactly 4 digits or exactly 6 digits. If the function is past a valid PIN, return true, else return false. So, digits, I guess, means it needs to be numeric. Shows alphanumeric is false, although it is 4. So we need to check the length, and we need to check that this only contains numbers. So the length, we're going to get in a pin. Presumably it's going to be a string, which, judging by the test data, it is. And we need to, okay, so we could check just the basic length, but we need to verify that it has nothing except for a certain subset of characters. The obvious choice for that sort of thing is regex, so we can make a pattern that will check for exactly 4 digits, numeric digits, or 6 digits, and then we'll let the magic of regex say whether or not it found this pattern. We could also do something a little clunkier and probably less performant and say take the string and replace anything that's not 0 through 9 and then look at the afterward result. If the result is this, if the cleaned version is the same as the raw version, then we know it's good. Otherwise, it is bad. So the trade-offs here, the sort of DIY version is probably using sort of replacing parts of the string and then comparing before and after. That's going to be maybe easier to implement just off the cuff, but it's probably going to be slower. Regex is the right tool for finding patterns inside of a string, so that's sort of a more natural solution, but regex can be tricky to write and tricky to understand. There's some sort of a saying about, like, if you use regex to solve your problem, now you have 2 problems. Anyway, let's attempt to do the regex version, and we'll use a little bit of trial and error to see if how we go. So the pattern is going to be something like this. I think we can use character classes. A character class of 4, or so this is going to say, assuming I got this right, which is not necessarily the case. We want the anchors to be at the front, and whoa. Come on, go forward. The regex here or the Vim controls are not perfect here. So I think the way we would interpret this is, so this is everything between the slashes is our regex pattern. And we're saying this anchor means start at the beginning of the string. The $sign here means the end of the string. So this is going to be the whole string must match this. The parentheses mean that this is optional. The pipe in between is separating the two optional things. So version 1 is \d, which means numeric digit. This is the sort of repeater. It says at least 4, and then after the comma is empty, so it means 4 digits, or 6 digits, and nothing else. So, assuming I wrote the regex correctly, we can just return, let's see, I think it's pin match pattern is not equal to null. I think this is just, we'll bang out the syntax here in a second. Some of it's right. Excuse me. Should return false. I'm getting alerts all over. So it looks like some of them worked, some of them didn't. So this one worked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think that it is matching. Oh, so it's saying if there are 5 of them, then there's something wrong with our anchors here. So let's, what's a good way to do this? Do we have console here? Let's see. We do. So let's just do some brute force here. So that's our pattern. Pin. Match. Return match. So I want to understand what the match is. So I'm going to put this in here. Get a little more visibility. So here, for the one that's failing, we're getting this pattern. Its pattern is consistent, and it's matching on 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole thing. Which like we said, we don't want it to match on the whole thing. We want it to only match when there are 4. Maybe I've got this syntax wrong. Maybe this should be. So this is min max. So I think I was telling it to. Yeah, there we go. So I got the syntax wrong. So the repeating part here is saying match digits 4 up to 4. So this is saying exactly 4 of these, right? I wonder if I could do it like this. So I was telling it minimum of 4, maximum of whatever. Now, though, it's saying only match when it's exactly 4, or when it is exactly 6. These are all pretty happy. This is going to be used all over, so why don't we make this a const, since we're going to be using it all over the place. And let's make this a little sexier. Boom. Yeah, there we go. So now, luckily, we've been around regex before, so this part, this is actually the difficult part, is figuring out what pattern to write. But I've written a lot of regex, so I had a leg up. Obviously, this is a very simple pattern, but regex gets really gnarly. And from a code quality, a code hygiene sort of perspective, regex sucks because it's a whole program unto itself. So this is hard to read. However, if you know the pattern is right, using it is easy. So whatever. All right, let's attempt everything. Huzzah! Let's submit. are submitting. Oh, look at this. That looks like a really familiar solution. Dang. I like it. Now this guy, pin length equals pin length is correct length. Has only numbers. So this one is more explicit about what's going on, but man, it's more code, that's for sure. Seems like he could have compressed this down into return this expression. Whatever. Yeah, this looks identical. Well, test. Oh, I should have done test because test returns the Boolean instead of the actual match. That would have been much better. Anyway, that's it. Later, boners.